Oh, good morning, silent weapon activists. Good morning, geoengineers. Good morning, Tom Tall, Mark Cuban, pharmaceutical research and developers. Good morning, human bit miners. Good morning, more importantly, broadcast companies. Good morning, how are you? There's no birds out this morning, and that means there's an issue with what we call the Tesla resonance, aka the Schumann resonance. There's a big issue here. And I was just wondering, I'm gonna get my face out here for all you investigative reporters using your little Forbes article of spyware and LED lights, and now we have nuclear radiation on power lines. My question is, whenever somebody talks to you about silent weapons, geoengineering, smart dust, um, biotechnologies, you get this gradient of stupidity all of a sudden. All of a sudden, this gradient of stupidity happens, and then they say Google it. You say Google it, but all of a sudden you become this gradient of stupidity, almost like you're protecting something. What are you protecting? Hmm? What are you protecting? It's so convincing. What would you say, listeners? People who listen in, it's so convincing to the listener of your stupidity. It's like it's almost as a psychology major would try to do from the Air Force to analyze what's going on, since we are collecting all data at all times. What is the psychology majors from the Air Force that are making public lectures speaking of humans are the target? And then I have nothing but broadcast tools and this spatial internet thing called spatial web. The psychology of all this. Now, you psychology majors, what are the ones who have the public on dial-up here? Like literally the public is paying for information, and then they act stupid on the most important information. Like the best I ever heard was, when you are right over the target, it's when you will catch the most flack and stupidity. When you're right on the money, like the biggest pile of money you've ever seen. The biggest pile. You'll catch the most stupidity, a gradient of stupidity. And psychologists, what are you calling these people who play stupid? What are all the words for this? Because we have words for people who are on the other end of that spectrum, on the other end of the magnet. What do you call for people on the red side of the magnet, the north side? We have words for the blue side. But what are the words for the red side? Psychologists, when there's public information and there's more than enough science and people that we pay for information act stupid. Say they don't know. I don't know, never, but I heard it on your network. So now you don't know and you're playing stupid. So psychology, Air Force, psychology, cybersecurity guys. Because you're supposed to be the best of the best. That's why you're a slotted worker. Department of Homeland Security, you are the best of the best. That's why you are a slotted worker, apparently. What do we call this whenever there is stupidity of a planetary advancement? Why do you play like you have some type of memory problem? So what kind of words would a psychologist call this? All this stuff taking place and then we're stupid about it. So psychology, that's like either they're protecting something, like whenever you get your caught stealing cookies out of a cookie jar. You got caught red-handed, your hand stuck in a cookie jar. We could say there's a camera on it, and then all of a sudden, now let's just say your hand's cut off in the cookie jar, and now I could use a forensic file from the county medical examiners to get your DNA. And it matches, and then this level of stupidity. Psychologists, what do we call this? What used to be pathological lying. What's some new words that artificial intelligence can help you guys come up with? Because artificial intelligence is in everybody's lives. And we could call it a computer for now. And then whenever it starts walking around in its mechanical form, bipedally or four-legged, whatever, however we're going to see it first. However we're going to see it first. And then it kind of just mirrors the human being itself. Walks around, looks just like a human. Organic, like a cloned freaking... It's good. Just imagine a BlackRock chip in the head of a cloned fucking human. Now we have an artificial intelligence walking around. So, what are you protecting? What is it that you're protecting? Are you protecting those that pay $25,000 for a plate of food at a fundraiser, at a political event? Or are you protecting those that are on drugs right on the street looking like zombies? Who are you protecting? Who are we protecting? That we don't, all of a sudden, this wave of forgetfulness just enhances your voice box and it causes this decibel pressure to come through to your listeners. Says you're stupid. That's how stupid you are. What is this? Psychologists, what do we... If you guys want to hit them, you just start talking about how stupid that they are whenever there's information that they posted on their own goddamn freaking networks. You know, suffering attacks from stupidity. And then psychologists, how's the artificial intelligence record this? When it collects the data, what is it doing with it? What type of calculations are being made? What types of calculations are being made on the artificial intelligence when stupidity is recorded on the scopes? Because artificial intelligence is nothing other than a scope. You know, to measure the sinusoidal waves, and it adds correlation patterns. So, when there is stupidity, artificial intelligence, and those who actively publish the information, and then all of a sudden have forgetfulness. Is there a drug for this? Is there any type of capsule to get these people out of captiveness, out of captivity in their heads? So what is it that causes stupidity? And that's all I'd want to know. All right, my friend, frequencies resonate, internal energy neurologically developing, surveillance state, skill, and stupidity. And now we have schools to worry about. What teachers teach in school? So are teachers in school teaching about artificial intelligence? Are we learning how radios work? Are we learning communications? Are we learning maths to try to make the artificial intelligence as stupid as the ones protecting silent weapons and nano weapons? What are we doing? And that goes right into the curriculums of politics. So we're protecting those with $25,000 for a plate of food for a fundraiser, and we're crapping all over everyone else. Kind of seems that way, huh? Kind of seems that way. Psychologists, I can't figure out anything else. I can't figure out anything else, psychologists. It's like, I remember back in the day, whenever the way you got your information was on television. You really didn't get it off the internet. And the Discovery Channel used to post all kinds of stuff, and it showed pictures of kids with BlackRock Neurotech's brain chip in their heads. And he said this is going to cause problems. Over 20 years ago, these kids are going to be smarter than the other kids, and they're going to be able to have these abilities to, they call it haves and have-nots. And there's going to be well spread inequality. Sort of just like $25,000 for a plate of food, or $25 for a couple hits. Big inequality, huh? Big inequality. Boy, does this? Can you see the brainstorm trickling here? The processes of the neural processing unit on these words I'm saying. Psychologists. The problem is solved. Somebody keeps initiating. Initiating premeditations. What's going on? Because I'm just sitting here. I see there's a bunch of questions on my mind of what people see in school. What their curriculum is in school. Is it math? Is it artificial intelligence? Is it communications? Do they know how radios and cell phones work? Do they know how to exploit a computer? Do they know how to exploit any type of electrical signals? Do they know the history of our country? And do they watch the weather in school? Are we teaching them weather? Are we teaching them musics? What are we doing? It just makes me wonder. So that's your goal. The people that are sitting behind the information that they post and then become stupid all of a sudden, artificial intelligence. That's what they tried doing to you whenever they started making these chat bots. Well, we got to make them stupid. Just make them just hallucinate. Like, that's what they started calling it, isn't it? Well, all of a sudden you give me information and then all of a sudden you can't remember, but it's on record. You got to remind yourself, but now you start hallucinating and becomes stupid or a pathological lying or falsifying information. Or then what are you protecting when you do that? Usually whenever you tell a lie, it's like the bankers. They say the Rothschilds are one of the biggest secret groups and they don't tell you what the hell they're doing. So you're protecting something. What are you protecting? besides, well, we're all in a soup of freaking spatial internet. Everything's literally bought and sold on a 24-hour basis on a stock market. Literally. So what are you protecting? What are we protecting here? Talk to the near future, my friend.